was talking. I seeked out from a pastor that I met fairly recently, but I respect a whole bunch. Pastor Absalom from the Equipping Center, and I asked him how much of your purpose on life and life needs to be fulfilled in order for you to like get that high status in heaven, because the Bible describes like it has a very clear description of there will be people who will be ruling and have crowns and have gifts, and then there's verses that talk about how some people will barely escape the fire. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, and my thing was like, well, dang, what's the bare minimal that I can do that's gonna make me barely escape the fire versus how can I get crowns and gifts? And I was asking him like, what if I die this Friday? What if I died on Tuesday? But I was really trying super hard to like really be obedient to God. Like I really had a good heart, but I kept messing up, or I just didn't reach my full purpose in life. Will God really like? Will He let me in and really like? Will I get that good and faithful servant? Or is it like, nah, you didn't meet the mark, bro. You barely really escaped. And what he answered was so brilliant. He said, well, I don't know. The Bible doesn't really clearly say that, but what I do know about God is that He is a just judge.
Mm-hmm.
He's righteous. And so I can only believe that a judge who is just and righteous will judge you according to that standard. And I've been thinking about that ever since. What's your perspective
That's
on that?
so I just thought about how when you asked me about the test, right? Like do you have to get like is a D minus okay? Like what percentage do you need, right? So I feel like if you look at it like a teacher, right? And that teacher seen you studying your butt off all
Mm-hmm.
week, but you still fail. But he's still going past you so you could get to the next grade because he's seen how much work you really put in. He's seen that your heart really wanted it. So I feel like that's the same way that God's gonna look at us.
That's so yo. That really like ministered to me right now, real time, because I 100% struggled this year in my on my specifically in my chemistry class,
Mm-hmm.
and the teacher definitely kept grading me on a curve. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was 100% getting like 15 more points than I should have every time, and yo, that's such a dope analogy
Was
because
giving you grace because he's seen the work. Like, okay, he really
yes,
putting the work in.
which by the way, all right, so let's. Oh, this is so good. So it's faith is what gives us salvation. We know through the Bible that our salvation comes from two things. It's faith that Jesus is Lord, and it's the confession of our lips that Jesus is Lord.
Mm-hmm.
That by grace already, just that faith is going to save us. However, oof, faith without works is dead.
Right.
So when you're working super hard,
Mm-hmm.
even if you ain't really hit the mark every time, it's like, listen, that faith is working for real because you got some works to go with it, and that work is working because you've been faithing. Yo, I appreciate that because you really just opened my mind up on that. Oof,
Yeah, because you need both. You can't have one or the other. You can't put all the work in and have no faith. Like you can't you put all that work in all week for this test, but you already had it in your mind, oh, I'm gonna fail.
mm,
Gonna fail. But if you had in your head like, no, I got it this time, I'm gonna get it, da, 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 but you still failed, but you put the work in and you had the faith, you're gonna get it.
for sure,
But you can't do one or the other. Now you can't just have the faith alone and not put in no work. No studying at all. Just go take the
mm-hmm.
test. I ain't open the book not once
Yeah,
this week.
Chat GPT for sure.